Are you looking for a clothing system that will enable you to empower your young children to get themselves dressed in the morning, picking out their own clothes, putting their clothes away when they're helping with laundry, and tidying up their room, and generally just keeping your household and your systems running smoothly in this area of children's clothing? If you are, then you might enjoy today's video where I'm going to show you our family's system for how we organize and store our kids' clothes. So I'm Danny, I'm a mom of 4 young children, and I'm here inside my kids' room, which is a constantly evolving and adapting space because, the kids change, our needs change, the seasons change, the toys tend to change a little bit, what's most popular, all of that. So it's always evolving. Probably every 2 or 3 weeks, there's little changes here and there. But our clothing system is actually a system that we have had pretty well dialed in for about the last, I want to say it's probably been 3 years. So this has worked really, really well for us. Our children are quite small. So we have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, an almost 3-year-old, and then we have a just turned 1-year-old. So our kids are small, and as a result, their clothing is relatively small. I do anticipate that we will need to come up with a new system or a different format of this system as our kids get bigger and their clothes get bigger. But right now, if you have kids in that age range, this might be really helpful for you. So I'm gonna just scoot back here so I can see I've got the camera set up on a tripod. So I'm here at our kids' closet space, and this is where the 3 older kids keep their clothes, and we don't have the baby's clothes in here yet. I call him the baby, he just turned 1. He's not really a baby, but he's not walking yet, so we're gonna keep calling him a baby for now. I will show you in a minute how we do his clothes, because this system was what was set up when our kids were in the other room, our other bedroom. We have a 2-bedroom cottage, and this is the bigger of the 2 bedrooms. So this was where my husband and I were sleeping with our baby until relatively short time ago. So this is the kids' system that we just moved over from the other room, and we'll probably adapt it as our baby gets bigger. But right now he can't choose his own clothes. So we do the clothes choosing for him, and we just have a different system. So I'll show you that in a minute. But for right now, what we've got here is this is basically a shoe rack. So it's not a super high quality thing, but I got it specifically because it fits in the measurements of our closet. So that would be like my first tip. If you are looking for developing a system, measure your space to make sure that what you get is really going to adapt and fit in the space that you have. We don't have any dressers in our home. Number one, because I don't like having my kids' fingers get pinched in drawers. And they tend to love, if I'm getting into a drawer, they tend to love to get into a drawer. And so we don't have any dressers in our home kind of for the drawer reason, but also because the dressers that I have seen, I'm sure I could find something that's specific to the space, but I really like having the clothes tucked inside the closet, because then all of the clothes storage is in the closet and the floor space in the room is more open for play and beds, which when you have as many kids as we do in as small of a space as we do, you kind of need to maximize that. So I went looking for something that specifically fit in the measurements of depth and width here. And if you have a dresser inside a closet, it's harder to get the drawers open, particularly if there's any framing around the closet. So that's the reason why we went with this. And then what we have is it's got basically 5 shelves. So the top shelf, we have these 2 storage bins. Now, my husband is currently camping with our 2 oldest kids, and our 3rd was supposed to go camping with him, but he's not feeling well. So his clothes are all packed in a backpack. So this is what you will see is actually less than what we typically have in these bins, partly because they have camping clothes with them, and partly because I have some laundry to fold. So this bin is where we keep our kids' like puffer vests. Each child has a puffer vest, and it just fits in here. We don't fold it, we just shove them in. This is the 1-year-old's puffer vest. Everybody else's is in their backpacks for him. So that bin is puffer vests, and then this bin here on the other side is sweaters and sweatshirts. So each child has 3 like pullover, they call them jumpers here in New Zealand, but pullover sweatshirts or sweaters of some kind, a warm layer, or I think one of them has a zip up. So they all fit in here. There's 9 different pieces of clothing that fit in here, and we don't worry too much about folding. We just dump. They just go in here, and it's easy for the kids to pull them down, grab them. We don't separate them by children. Our kids know, sorry, my hair is doing weird things here. I'm going to try to tuck it in. Our kids know which sweaters and sweatshirts are theirs, so they can choose which ones are theirs, and that's not really a problem. So they keep them all in there. Okay, we're gonna redo the hair here, sorry. Okay, in the next shelf, we've got my 7-year-old's clothes. So she has a small basket and a large basket, which is what all of the kids have. And in the large basket, we keep her shirts and her leggings and sweatpants. So this is a little bit more challenging with my 7-year-old because her clothes are getting bigger. And right now we are in our winter season, which here in New Zealand, it doesn't get like super cold. I don't think it's never snowed while I've been here. I don't even know that it's ever gotten completely down to like freezing. But we do still have, our house doesn't have like central heating. It just has a wood stove. So we definitely still utilize a couple pair of like thick sweatpants, long sleeve shirts that she can layer a sweatshirt over, and then the puffy vest on top of that if she needs to. So typically we usually have about 8 to 10 shirts, some t-shirts, some long sleeve shirts in the wintertime, and then usually about 6 to 8 pair of jeans or sweatpants or leggings. My girls love leggings. They wear them with their dresses, and so leggings don't take up a lot of space. So that tends to work pretty well. But she does have a pair of jeans, and then I think she has a second set of sweatpants that's with her camping, and another like 2 pair of leggings. So all of that's in here. Both my girls also usually have like a pair or 2 of bike shorts in here that they wear underneath of their dresses. So that's in the top bin here for my 7-year-old. And then this bin has her underwear and the socks that are specifically hers that she wants to keep like precious and separate. And I'll get to that in a minute as we move down the list. But this is her underwear and socks. The second row here, same thing except for my 5-year-old daughter. She has more clothes because we get hand-me-downs from friends. I love hand-me-downs. We are the biggest fan of hand-me-downs. And she has her hand-me-downs from her sister. And so my poor oldest child probably has the least amount of clothes because she gets the least amount of hand-me-downs. And then my second born has a lot of like her older sister's hand-me-downs, and then new stuff that tends to, you know, kind of come in. And then my son we have some dear friends who they have a boy that's a couple years older than my little guy, and they've basically given me his entire wardrobe as their son has not needed it. So my son has also a pretty good amount of clothes. Although you won't see it because he's sick, and so a lot of his clothes have been in the laundry. But this is my daughter's clothes. We try to just fold shirts in general and kind of keep them on one side, pants on the other. I let the girls rearrange this. I come through maybe once a month if I notice that the clothes are like exploding out, and I might do a little bit of like, hey, can you help me just fold stuff up so it all fits back in the basket? When I do the like 6-monthly changeover and we switch to winter clothes versus summer clothes, I do usually make sure that everything will fold and fit in their basket when I'm doing that changeover, so that I know that we can get things tidy. If it doesn't fit, then we need to downsize something. So then I let the girls choose, what are you not so keen on? What are you okay letting go of? And generally my kids are pretty good about being like, I don't really like this shirt, Mom. Sometimes it's my favorite shirt, but honestly, I just let them choose because I'm not gonna make them wear something. They have so many cute clothes, so many cute options, and the majority of the time they're at home in play clothes. I kind of figure if they have like 1 or 2 nice things as options, which typically honestly are more their dresses than anything, then they can choose their own clothes. They don't have to match. They don't have to look perfect. If they have a couple stains on them, I don't care. If that's what they love and they love to wear it, then that's fine. All of my kids have at some point had a shirt that they have just loved and loved and loved and worn to the point where I am so sick of seeing it. But you know what? I just let them wear it because they're happy and it's just not worth the battle. Choose your battles, right? So my 5-year-old's clothes are there. Again, she has the same thing, her undies, and then like these are new socks that she just had her birthday, so her grandparents got her some socks with butterflies on them, which she was very excited about. So she, those are hers, and she gets to keep them in her bin and keeps them, where she wants them. So, and then down here, again, okay, so my poor little 3-year-old has had like a tummy bug going on for a couple of days. He's out resting right now because he just is not feeling good. So a lot of his clothes are currently in the wash rotation because we've gone through them, but he does have some that are packed inside a bag that I just need to unpack because he didn't go camping with my husband and the girls today. But he has a pair of jeans, a couple pair of shorts because he likes to wear shorts, and then like probably 4 sweatpants, kind of jogger sweatpants, and then again t-shirts, some short sleeve, some long sleeve, and they all fit inside this larger bin. And then the same thing for him. He got some socks for Christmas, I think it was, that he really likes, that he keeps in here along with his undies. So that's where all of those go. And then down on the very bottom shelf, we have the extra socks. So when we were in the United States last year visiting family, we were staying in a travel trailer in my parents' backyard because we were there for like 6 weeks. And so they'd been able to borrow a travel trailer. So our whole family, all 6 of us, stayed in the travel trailer. And it was summertime. So my kids didn't like the feel of the grass on their feet because the grass was really dry and it was kind of prickly. But they wanted to wear their socks, but we'd only taken like maybe 4 pair of socks per kid because we figured, we'll be doing a load of laundry every day, no big deal. Well, we were losing socks all the time. So my husband got annoyed with having to constantly try to hunt down socks, and he went to Target and he bought a massive bag of just like little ankle socks for kids. And because our kids all have relatively similar size feet, like I think our oldest has in like UK sizes, I think she's like a 10, and our son is a 9, and our 5-year-old is an 8. Our son, our 3-year-old, has quite large feet, I think, or the girls just have small feet, I guess. So they all fit the same size socks. So we have a plethora of extra socks. And then I just went and got like 2, I don't know, maybe 4 pair packages of socks at Kmart recently that were the tall kind. So they have all these short socks, but they're wearing their rubber boots now, and I wanted them to have like long socks. So some of them are more feminine, some of them are more masculine. My son does not seem to care. The girls don't care which ones they choose. So this is kind of our extra sock pile. These were like Christmas in July gifts that a friend of ours gave the girls. They're really warm and fuzzy, so they love to have those. So this is where we keep all of the extra socks. The socks that nobody cares as much about, they end up here. So then, so that's kind of their pants, shirts, undies, socks, sweatshirts. And then right here, if I scoot over, you should be able to see, we just have their hanging clothes. So each girl has, I don't know, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably each girl has about 4 or 5 dresses. And we have like a couple button-up shirts for my son, kind of more of a nicer sweater for him. And then some clothes that hang up for the baby, that are the baby's kind of nice stuff. Probably doesn't need this many, but I always like to have some really warm, like wool sweaters for the babies because our houses do tend to get a little chilly here in New Zealand. So that's my bigger kids' clothing system. And then I'm just gonna turn the camera around and I will show you how we do our little guys' clothes. So here we come over here. I'll set the tripod up here and angle it a little bit. Okay, so these are garbage bins, waste baskets, like office supply waste basket bins that I picked up at Kmart, I think when our 3rd born was a baby, because we were in this house and I needed to figure out some sort of a system for his clothes at that time. So this is what we've used for the baby, whoever the baby is, this is their system. So we have these little waste baskets, and we don't fold anything. Well, I sort of fold stuff still, but my husband and when the kids do the laundry, they don't fold stuff. But we have, this one is for his tops. So he's got you know, babies at this stage, they still have some that like snap underneath of the crotch. They also have like just t-shirts and long sleeve shirts. He's got kind of a variety, probably more than we need, honestly, but I do like to have a few extra for a baby because they eat, okay buddy, there's one out by you. This poor little guy. They get messy when they eat. So this is his shirts. These are his pants in here. These are his pajamas. My older kids don't wear pajamas. They just put on like sweatpants, or the girls sleep in their dress, or Laz sleeps in his like shorts and a t-shirt. So they just wear their normal clothes to bed. That was a switch we made a few years ago. One of the best parenting decisions. They put on clean clothes at night, they sleep in them, and unless it's been like super hot and sweaty or something, they just wear their clothes all day the next day, and then they take them off that night, take a shower, throw their laundry in, and then they change into clean clothes. So, but the baby still wears pajamas, so his little pajamas are there, his little footed pajamas and stuff. And then this is, I just have like 2 sweaters in here. One of them is in the wash because he just got avocado toast all over it. The other's a sweater. So kind of his sweater layer. I also have like a little hat in there. And then his socks, and right now he only has 1 pair of shoes because he doesn't walk yet. So these are more just like if we need something cute for pictures or if his feet are really cold. He has his little shoes in here. We've got just a variety of socks in here. I probably have like, I don't know, close to 10, 12 socks in here. I have a lot of socks. I love these. These are little merino wool ones, and they come up nice and high. So even when they're babies, you can pull them up like almost above their knees, and then their socks don't fall off, which is really nice. So I like to have those. And then I have a handful of like little bibs in here, which he really, honestly, hasn't even been wearing lately, like drool bibs. He obviously wears a bib when he's eating meals, but for drooling purposes, he doesn't need them. So those are down here. And then this is just his like blankets. He likes to sleep with a blanket. He balls it all up and then like holds it near his face. I know it's probably a bit of a suffocation hazard, but we usually pull it out before we go to bed. And he's old enough now that he can like lift his head, he can stand up, he can roll around, and they're like 100% cotton blankets. So love them. They're like swaddle blankets. Max and Moose, oh, I love their blankets. My sister's gotten me blankets with the last 3 kids, I think, and they have held up so well, and they're just the best swaddle blankets. They're extra big, they're lightweight, they're that like kind of stretchy cotton. Oh, we just love them. And then these are extra diaper covers. We keep most of our diapers for our little guy in like a shoe tray sort of thing underneath of our couch out in the living room, because that's where we tend to change his diaper. And so these are just the extras. I usually keep a handful in that tray, but they don't all fit. So that is, let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I was going to say that's it, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We have like safety vests for our kids because we walk a lot. So it's a very New Zealand thing to have like high vis safety vests. Those are they just hang on command hooks at the end of the bunk bed over there. And then they have the kids have like a bin of dress up clothes down here. So those aren't in their normal clothes rotation. They just have their butterfly wings and fancy poofy skirts and their dress-up dresses. And then my girls love to wear little aprons. And so they have these cute little aprons. I'll just move the camera so you can see. They have these cute little aprons that hang on this little rack outside of it's actually on the inside of their door, but 90% of the time their bedroom door is open. So it's on the outside of their door. But that is how we arrange our kids' clothes in our 650 square foot cottage with our 4 kids. And I would say that we are minimal-ish, but we are not, I don't think of us as like extreme minimal people. I like to have enough clothes for at least, I never go an entire week without doing laundry, but I like to have at least enough clothes that we can easily go like a full week without doing laundry, like if we're on a trip or something like that. So that's kind of my like number. I try to have like 7 completely different outfits for each person, 7 pairs of underwear, 7 pairs of socks. And then I think we actually have more than that. Like we have an abundance beyond that, which is just such a blessing. So anyhow, I hope that was helpful for you. If you live in a small space with small kids, I love the open basket system. So I was talking about drawers, and my tip was to measure your space. I would also say another tip is if you can do without dressers, do without dressers. The open basket system allows the kids to see what they have without, it's like that visual reminder of what they actually have, and then they can put stuff in and pull stuff out, and it's not super tricky for little ones, and that just has worked super, super well. We've always done an open basket system ever since my oldest was like a baby. And so that's just kind of what's evolved with our family. And my husband and I have now converted over to an open basket system in our closet. And I don't think I'm ever going to go back. I don't think I will. I grew up with dressers, but I don't think I'm going to go back to dressers because I love having the baskets that I can pull out, put on the floor, pull stuff through, or like even when I'm doing laundry, like if I have a bunch of baby clothes, I just grab 2 or 3 of his baskets and I drop the laundry straight into the baskets where are the bins where they belong. And it just seems to really simplify things. So, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out our small space living with little kids organization systems. And please drop me any questions or anything else that you'd like to see in our small home, like the systems of how we do stuff. If I have a good system, being interrupted. If I have a good system, I will share it with you. And now I'm going to go sign off and see what my little guy needs because he, hopefully we don't have another round of upset stomach happening, but he seems relatively chipper, but I should go check. So thanks so much. Have a great day.